Alright, so here we're going to review of the Dunu SA6 MK2. Yep, I am pretty late to this, but yeah, everybody's hyping like crazy over this thing, and so yeah, let's get into this. The box is pretty big, can barely fit in the frame of my camera, but yeah. I think there's on the back some information on here, but yeah. So the SA6 MK2 is, well, like the name suggests, there's 6 drivers, they are all BA, and it retails for $580, right? So this unboxing is very not correct because I don't have the original packaging. I bought this used, but and ignore my cat in the background. All right, let me take this out here. I only have the original IEMs, obviously, and the original cable with its terminations. So I use these with spin fits, and yeah, the sound is basically going to be me talking about how I heard them with spin fits, not with the stock tips. Alright, I'm sorry about that, I just don't have the stock tips. And here are the IEMs themselves. Case is freaking massive, like my god, this is huge. I don't exactly know what you would use this for, but yeah, I mean, I guess you want to put it in a backpack or something, but I wouldn't use this case personally. I guess it looks cool, it does look cool, but I'm not going to use this, so yeah. Alright, let's talk about the cable. Let's talk about the cable because this is one of my favorite cables on IEMs in general. If you saw my Dunu EST 112 review, you know I love Dunu's cables. But they all have this one really annoying problem that is actually not Dunu's fault. It is that they use right angle connectors, which I hate on IEMs. Let me see if the flash is on. Yeah, it is. I really do not like right angle connectors because if I plug this in to, well, okay. Let me see, I'm gonna get my DAP here real quick. Moment. Alright, so here's the DX300. If I plug in, see I use the 1/4 inch, which I like to use on these. So if I plug that into here, and I plug this in to my DX300, and DX300 I kind of keep like this, so like, I mean, I just don't like this, it just bends the cable. Like, why not have it straight? Because I keep this in my pocket like that, or I'm holding it like this. Why not just have it straight? I don't know. I hate right angle. But this is not Dunu's fault because actually, Dunu wants to make straight angle connectors, but the person that holds the patent to this Q-lock system that they have, they're holding the patent for the straight angle one. This is according to Dunu on Head 5, which is what I saw, is that they cannot make the straight angle ones. They don't have the rights to do so. They only have the rights to make the right angle connectors because of this system they have, which they call Q-lock, where you pull down on here and then pull this out. It looks a lot like a Limo connector to me. You have like these pins here, and you have this little notch, and you match the middle notch with the notch in here. It's really easy to do off camera, but on camera I'm just having trouble. There we go. And I really like this system. It makes the modular connector very small compared to the modular systems of a lot of other IEMs. Great modular system. I just really wish this was straight connector, but I know Dunu doesn't have a choice. The cable overall, the quality is very nice. It stays very straight. Connectors are all very high quality. There's just no complaints here. This is a connector that I would see with a $1,000 IEM easily. A fantastic cable overall. I love the cable. Now let's talk about the IEMs themselves. Alright, so this is a big IEM. You can probably even tell on camera. This thing is huge. Let me see if I have the Phantom. We're gonna talk about that in a second, but yeah, look at that. That is huge. And let's grab the Penon 10th edition. Just massive. Like already the 10th edition is pretty big, and this is taller than that. So it's crazy really how big the SA6 MK2 is. So you're gonna expect me to say uncomfortable as hell. But no, this is actually really comfortable. I enjoy the comfort a lot. The way they shaped this, they shaped it perfectly. I don't know how they managed, but in reality, the size doesn't really, feel big in the ear. So overall, excellent comfort for me. I have no problem with comfort. I use these for exercise, and no problems. Comfort, fantastic. And now looks also, they have this wood design that has some resin on it. Each one's gonna have like a different amount and pattern of the resin. And yeah, I think mine is nice. I mean, honestly, I like the design. So yeah, It also comes with 3.5 connector as well for their modular cable system. Where did I put that cable? Okay, I'll just put it over there. Alright, so now let's talk about sound. That is what you are here for, as always. Now, you might imagine that I don't like this IEM, because I think I've said it in other reviews. I do not like all BA sets usually. All BA sets tend to have really poor bass in my opinion. I really don't like BA timbre. But this thing managed to do it so well. The bass on this set of IEMs is one of the best bass I've heard, and it is the best bass I've heard at this price point. Like, I'm talking, I like the bass on this set more than I like it on the 10th edition. I'm serious. This is, let me take the cable off of the 10th edition here so it's easier to, do, oh shit. Okay, let me just move that out of the way. It is just, the bass is just incredible on this set. It has flaws, and we're going to talk about that right now. So, I'm going to try to describe this the best way I can. You can tell it's BA bass, but it's not like a heavy effect on how good the bass is. So, when we're talking about the initial impact of the bass, the slam, like the initial hit of the bass, right? That is where this is the weaker point of the bass on the SA6 Mark II. I'm just gonna say SA6 from now on. I know there's a normal SA6, but it's just easier, okay? That's where a dynamic driver really has the advantage to me here. The initial hit of the bass, the Penon is gonna do better, and the Phantom is gonna do better. I know Phantom's $900. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But the SA6 Mark II has a better texture, better decay of the bass, and overall detail in the bass is better on the Mark II. It's incredible what they managed to do with the bass on here. And it has very little BA timbre on the bass. Almost unnoticeable. If you gave me this, and you didn't tell me what drivers were in here, I wouldn't be able to tell that bass was reproduced by a BA. I would just think it was a very good dynamic driver. I mean, the only thing that I can tell different between the dynamic driver's bass and this BA bass is that initial hit is not exactly dynamic like. But otherwise, the bass is fantastic. Again, the bass is some of the best I've heard on an IEM. Definitely the best I've heard at under $600. Fantastic bass. Bass sets will love this. Now, you may have noticed there is a switch on the top here. Also, I forgot to mention, this is a very, very recessed 2-pin, but that's actually, to my preference, most 2-pins because it stops it from falling out. Anyway, there's a switch on here, and it's actually able to be switched on and off with your hand, or if you have a fingernail, so that I love. I usually hate switches, especially for someone who's testing IEMs and comparing a lot. It makes it a real pain in the ass to have to test it, because it's like testing multiple IEMs at once, and you have to take them out of your ear, use a little tool, push it in and out, move them back and forth, then put it back in my ear. With this, I'm able to just have this in my ear, imagine my head's here, just put my hand up and flick it while it's still in my ear. I don't have to take it out and in, I don't have to do that. I love that. I love that part of this IEM. And I don't know what this switch is supposed to do, but the switch, from my experience of what this switch does, is it seems to be a bass boost, at least from what I can tell. It boosts the bass, and I enjoy it on some tracks. Some tracks I like this bass boost, and some tracks I would prefer it to not have a bass boost. I find it to reduce the stage a little bit, and it does get a little bit more congested overall in the sound, because it's just the bass, more bass tends to usually do that though. But I find that when you turn that off, the mids tend to shine a little bit more. The treble seems to be nicer. It does make the overall the stage wider. I think that the sound is a little bit more balanced with the switch off, but with the switch on, when it's switched up, there's more bass. But I like that on some tracks. Some tracks, you want more bass, but some tracks I want it off. And the great thing is I don't have to take it out and flick the switch on with some kind of thin tool every time I want to switch it. Sometimes you just want more bass. It's like an EQ kind of, just flick it on. It's amazing. I love it. I don't know why more IEMs don't do this. And it's not 10 different switches everywhere. I gotta tune my own IEM. No. It's pre-tuned to be amazing, and I love that. Now, the mid-range. Fantastic mid-range. I know I'm gushing over this IEM. Like I know I usually tend to have a more critical approach to IEMs, but I really like the set, so I just gotta. And I just like I thought that people were overhyping this, but I first saw this IEM actually when I was in Japan. I went to Japan. I went to earphone, and I went through a bunch of IEMs, see which one I liked, and I just wrote those down. And then when I got back, I decided to find which ones I liked, and I wanted to buy them. And when I heard the SA6 Mark II there, I was like, wow, this really is, it lives up to the hype. And it's an all-BA that actually does have great bass and sound great. So I had to buy one. And yeah. Anyway, mid-range, back to mid-range. So the mid-range, the mid-range is smooth. It does have a little tiny bit of BA timbre. You can tell that, like, you know, it's being done by BAs, but it's very full sounding. It just has a little bit of, how do you say, like, it has a little bit of, I'm trying to find a good way to explain this. It's a nice forward present mid-range that has a little bit of thinness on certain tracks, but for the most of the time, it sounds very full. And so overall, the mid-range is really fantastic. But the one flaw that stops this, in my opinion, from beating like flagships like the Phantom, is that it has that little bit of thinness every once in a while. It tends to be more full for the most part, but every once in a while it have that thinness, and I think that that's what separates this from flagship. And also the stage. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's go to the highs. Highs are done fantastic. I think that there's no problem with the highs at all. It's well extended, but never sibling. I've not experienced sibilance once on these, and it's not like it's completely rolled off. Fantastic highs. I really like the way highs are done on here, and my cat is meowing a lot. Anyway, I hope you can hear that. Anyway, so yeah, overall, highs are done very well. Anyway, so onto the things other than highs, mids, bass. Let's talk about stage and imaging. Now, this is where I find these things kind of start to lack in comparison to flagship IEMs. Comparison to other IEMs in the price range, which I will get into in other videos, because I have more IEMs in this price range that I'm going to review, and this is going to be in those reviews, in those comparisons. I mean, Sage compares to the 10th edition pretty closely. It's a little bit bigger than the 10th edition, but my biggest flaw with the 10th edition was its poor stage. I did want to mention also, I forgot, as for tips, I use the medium, the small instead of the extra small spin fits that I usually use. So if you want to have a bit of a bigger sound, I recommend going a little bit larger in size tips than you usually use. At least, like, try that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The stage is fine. It's not small necessarily, but it's not big either. Usually when I think flagship IEM, I have a bit of more holographic sound, like wider, better imaging than what this provides. So again, though, I'm comparing this to $1,000 IEMs, like the idea of $1,000 IEMs, like, you know, like the Phantom, other things I've tried, and not like compared to other $500 sets. Compared to other $500, $600 sets, this does great in stage. It still does not as good as some other IEMs we will get to in the channel in the future reviews, but it has good stage. Let's say this is your head, stage is here, and so that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But it's not incredible, nothing to take, like, you know, like give praise to. Imaging wise, imaging is also underwhelming. It's okay at this price. It's good, but not amazing. I'm not surprised. It's just okay, decent imaging. So if you're looking for like the best imaging and the best stage, that's not what this will give you. At least that's not what I'm experiencing. But tuning, fantastic. Detail, above average in the price point. Overall quality, very good. I love this set. I highly recommend this set. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. So that's about it. See ya.